what I have in this pot here is a combination of herbs that are used to treat Candida and yeast infection and dandruff. Okay, that's what I have in this pot here, a combination of several different herbs, and here they are over here, which I'm going to get into in this video. Alright, I'm going to show you guys each of these herbs, what they are. I'm going to give you the name of these herbs, and these herbs are all antifungal herbs that are used to treat yeast infection, Candida, and dandruff in your body, in the system. Alright, so pardon my pumpkin over there. I love pumpkin. As you guys can see, that is golden seal in the corner there. I wasn't able to, I had a little bit of that in the herbal, in the loose herb, but that's all gone, and I wasn't able to find it in the loose herb form. So I do have, as you guys can see, a tincture with the golden seal there, and that yeast cleanse you're looking at there is a formula that is used to keep the digestive tract, to keep the colon, to keep, you know, the good flora in the gut, just to clean up the gut and get rid of those bacteria in the gut. That's called yeast cleanse, and it helps to you know, really clean up the bacteria in the gut and get rid of the bad bacteria. So now, I don't have yeast infection, but I take this. I do a Candida cleanse every now and then to make sure that I don't get a yeast infection. See? So what I know, I cannot stress this enough. I don't wait to have something. I don't wait to get something. I do what I do to make sure that I don't get it, that I don't get these things, you know, yeast infection and Candida and dandruff and so on and so forth. So just because I'm taking these things doesn't mean I have yeast infection or Candida. I'm taking these things to make sure that I stay away from that type of stuff, okay? To make sure that those type of things stay away from my gut, okay? That I don't get them inside my body. That's the purpose of taking these things, you know, on a consistent basis. You have to be consistent with these things. So again, this I'm going to get in the video in a few minutes, okay? I'm going to get into the video, but I just want to show you guys, I do have, I believe I have 2 different videos on this channel about how I prepare my herbs, okay? So this is a pot of herbs that I just prepared, and right now, as I said, I am in the middle of a Candida cleanse, all right? Just making sure that my gut stays healthy and Candida free, and that the vajayjay stays yeast infection free, okay? Got to keep it clean down there, all right? So that's why I do what I do. I don't wait to get a yeast infection. I don't wait to get Candida. I don't wait to get, you know, all kind of parasites inside of me. I make sure that it doesn't happen, okay? All right. Hey, shalom. Okay, so somebody asked me to do this video months ago, and unfortunately, I am now just getting around to do it. Quite a few people asked me to do quite a few videos, and I promise I will get around to them. Okay, so today's video, I will be addressing, are y'all ready? The vagina. Yes, okay. But, brothers, I'm going to tell you why you guys might be interested in this video as well. All right? So, today's topic, we're going to be discussing yeast infection and Candida in the stomach, in the system, okay? and dandruff. Yeast infection, dandruff, candida, they all come from the same source. Remember that. Now, the problem we're having here is this, right? We all go to listen. So we go to the dermatologist. I'm sorry, not the dermatologist, the gynecologist. We go to the gynecologist, and what is the same thing that the gynecologist tells everybody? Have your gynecologist ever explained to you what is this? Where does your yeast infection come from? Like, because I remember when I was younger, when I was a teenager, I remember asking my gynecologist, and he pretty much told me, just make sure your underwears are clean and make sure you're not washing yourself with soaps that are going to irritate the area down there, right? And that's it. He still did not explain to me what this thing is and where it came from. I mean, how many of you ever ask your doctor, what is yeast infection? Where does it come from? What is the source of it? Right? They don't know. Or maybe they do know, but they just don't want to tell you because they want to continue to sell you those pills that you get to shove up there, or those things that you get to put in your mouth, and a couple of days later, the symptoms are gone. Because that's what you're doing. You're fixing the symptoms. You're not taking care of the problem. You're putting a Band-Aid on the problem. All right. So what is a yeast infection? What is Candida? What is dandruff? They all came from the same source, and they are fungus in the body. The body is being overran by fungus. And let me say this to you. Your doctor makes you feel like a yeast infection or, Candida, like it's a vagina problem. Ladies, let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you something today that your doctors have never told you. When you have a yeast infection, you're not having a vagina problem. You're having a problem with the immune system, with your digestive system, and with your colon, okay? You're having an issue in your gut. So when you have a yeast infection, it's already in your bloodstream. It's already in the liver. The vagina is the last place that it goes. So by the time you're feeling it in the vagina, it's already everywhere else. It's already everywhere else. So when these doctors give you something to shove up there, you're only putting a Band-Aid on the problem. You're only fixing a symptom, because a yeast infection is not a vaginal problem. It's a gut problem. It's a problem in your gut. And as long as you don't fix what's going on inside the gut, you will always have a yeast infection. And which is why there are thousands and thousands and thousands of women right here in America, for instance, that are having recurring yeast infection. I can't tell you how many blogs I've been on. I can't tell you how many groups I've been in. I can't tell you how many videos I've watched. Woman after woman after woman with the same complaints. They're having this recurring yeast infection problem that just doesn't go away. Oh, it went away for 3 months, but it come back. Oh, I took the monostat or the whatever for, a couple of weeks and it came back again, or maybe 6 months and it come back, and over, and it just keeps coming back. Why? Because you're fixing the symptoms. You're relieving the symptoms. You're not really getting to the root cause of the problem, which has to do with the inside of your gut is being overran by fungus. All right. So today we're going to talk about that. I'm going to tell you what, listen to me. This is not an easy fix. It's not an easy fix. Okay. Let me explain to you why. When you work hard, right? Some of you guys go to college, right? When you go to college and you get your degree, you do that through hard work and dedication, right? You didn't just go to college and pick up a degree and walk out. No, you go there, you spend time, your money, you hard work and dedication, and you get your whatever education you went there for, right? And you get your little degree, right? Okay. And then you're out, you bought a property, a home, right? But you didn't just buy a home. It just happened overnight. No, you did that through hard work and dedication. And so that's what we're going to have to do when we're trying to get the body, the health back together. The body heals itself, but it has to happen through hard work and dedication. You got to put in the work. All right. So none of this is going to happen overnight. There's no magic pill that you're just going to pop the pill and this stuff just goes away, because that's what you've been doing for years. And the problem is still not fixed. Why? Because there is no quick fix to any ailment. You have to make sure that the body is in a state where it is able to repair itself. Plain and simple. If the body is not in the right state where it's able to repair itself, it's always going to be sick. All right. So the body is sick because of what you keep putting in the digestive system. Why? Because I know I've said this a million times. People, the digestive system is the source of your illness. Every illness begins in the digestive system, right there in the gut. Whether you're suffering from cancer, whether you're suffering, well, listen, at least 80 to 90% of illness begins in the digestive system. Let me say that, okay? Because there are some things that come from the environment and so on and so forth, okay? But understand that most of your illness is happening in here, originate from the digestive system, all right? That's the source of your problem. So today I am going to tell you guys what you can do to get rid of your Candida, your yeast infection, your dandruff problem, and not just get rid of it, but keep it away. But unfortunately, for those of you who like a quick fix, no. This is going to be hard work and dedication and a lot of sacrifice, okay? So as I said before, as I said earlier, yeast infection, again, I cannot stress this enough, is not a vaginal problem. This is something that developed in the colon, in the digestive system, the immune system being jacked up. Pretty much what it is, okay? And it's already in the bloodstream, all right? So in order to get rid of Candida, yeast infection, dandruff, the immune system has to be healthy. The colon has to be healthy. The gut, all up in there. It all has to be healthy, okay? And as I said, Candida, yeast infection, dandruff, it comes from the same source. All come from the same source. So brothers, don't think that this is just a sister's video. This is for you too, because I know a lot of brothers who have dandruff. Okay? So brothers, this video is for you. And unfortunately, a couple of months ago, someone, I had a conversation with someone and I was so heartbroken. There was a child about 7 years old, and she was diagnosed with yeast infection, and I was just, it's like too young, you know, 7 years old with a yeast infection, and it's because the child is not being fed a proper diet. Her immune system is jacked up. Her gut is jacked up, all right, and they're thinking it's a vagina problem. It's not. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna get into some herbs. Yes, because y'all know I'm the herb lady. All right. And the herbs I'm gonna show you guys today are all antifungal herbs. And as I said, yeast infection, Candida, dandruff, it's all fungus in the body. All right, so I'm going to show you guys some antifungal herbs. There's two herbs that I don't have here in front of me. Unfortunately, I ran out of them, and I just wanted to show you guys what the herbs look like. There's two of them that I don't have, yes, so the herbs I'm going to show you today all of them are antifungal herbs. All right, and I'm going to show you them. I'm going to show you guys how to take, well, you guys know my videos on how to make the herbs and so on and so forth, but we'll get into that in a second. So the first herb I have here, this is called marigold or calendula. I hope I'm saying it right. Calendula or calendula. I like to say calendula because I'm from the Caribbean. We don't pronounce things right, okay? So I say calendula, all right? Some people pronounce it calendula. It's also called marigold. So calendula, all right? Or marigold. So that's the first herb. Now, let me say this, right? While you're taking these herbs, all of these herbs, you might be fixing your Candida problem and your yeast infection problem, but if you're suffering from other things, you might be, repairing those things as well. A lot of all these herbs, every herb is multifunctional. Okay, so you have one herb that does different things for the body. Understand that. So you might be fixing yeast infection with these herbs, but you might also be fixing something else. All right. Okay, so the next herb is wormwood. And y'all know how I feel about wormwood. It is bitter, but I love it. All right, I take this stuff almost every day. I'm the wormwood lady. All right, so this is wormwood, and y'all see that I did a video on wormwood a couple of weeks ago. Antifungal. This is black walnut powder. All right, this is also antifungal. That's black walnut. This herb here, I talk a lot about this. I'm going to spell it for you guys. This herb is pronounced Padiaco. P-A-U-D-A-R-C-O. Padiaco bark. That's what this herb is. All right? Now, I'm going to tell you guys something about this right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. You guys see that? Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so this is golden seal. All right? I'm trying to see if you guys get... Oh, there we go. No, okay. So this is golden seal. G-O-L-D-E-N-S-E-A-L. All right? I have to say something to you guys. This herb is very expensive. This is a very expensive herb depending on where you're going to get it. This herb here is very expensive. Now, I went somewhere to get this herb, right? And they had the herb, but 1 ounce of this herb, which is probably about one tablespoonful, was like $21. It's very expensive. This here cost me about $16. And this is a 1 ounce bottle here. But this herb right here is extremely potent, very potent, which is why it is included in this little combination here for Candida. And I can see why this herb is so expensive, because it's extremely potent, very potent. You don't need a lot of this when you're taking it. Just a drop from this dropper here. Let me show you guys. All right. Just a drop of it. You know, maybe that much. You see where it is right there? Maybe about that much. About a quarter of this, say twice a day. All right. Now, if you have a really bad infection, you might want to take it 3 times a day. All right, because you want some relief. Okay, but this is a very potent herb, and that's why it's so expensive. It is very expensive. And again, this is called golden seal. I'm sorry you guys can't see this. I'm going to take some of this. Yes, it is bitter. Very bitter. Okay. I don't know why you guys can't see this camera. Yeast cleanse. This is a product that is very good if you're suffering from yeast infection and candida and dandruff in the system. You know what? I don't like to pronounce, not pronounce, I don't like to, you know, promote brands in my videos, because I'm not getting paid from these people to, you know, talk about their brand. But I'm trying to help you guys. So this brand is called Solaray, Solaray. All right, and they're not. Y'all know I don't take pills like those hard rock pills. I only take liquid or powder. Okay, so these are capsules. So, you know, the little capsule with the powder inside of them. So that's what these are. I will take these if I can't find, you know, the powder, or, you know. So this is called Yeast Cleanse, and this is good to also take while you're taking those herbs. And one last thing is this, you guys, I did a video on this. This is acidophilus probiotic, okay? And your yeast cleanse also have probiotics and other things that is very good to help with the gut flora, all right? To help with the, you know, those fungus in the gut. This is acidophilus, and it helps to balance the good bacteria in the gut, all right? Because that's what's happening in your gut. Overran by bad bacteria, by fungus. Okay, so that's what's happening to your gut when you're suffering from I'm sorry guys, when you're suffering from yeast infection and candida. Fungus. Okay, now let's talk about your diet, because we can't do this. We can't just continue our normal life, right? And just take some herb and expect some miracle to happen. Sorry, but there's no miracle in there's no miracle cure. There's no such thing as a miracle cure, despite what you know, a whole lot of bunch of these clowns, you know, there's a miracle cure over here, whatever. Anyway, so the first thing you need to do if you're suffering from a yeast infection or whatever, candida, dandruff, do a cleanse. A cleanse. I think I mentioned that before. A cleanse, yes. You got to get rid of the crap inside, and then, you know, you start putting the good stuff in. After you do the cleanse, you cannot go back to eating the garbage that you've been eating, because those garbage is what's making you suffering from a yeast infection in the first place. So if you're a cheese eater, get rid of that cheese, okay? Sorry, but you will never treat candida, yeast infection in the gut if you continue to drink milk and eat cheese. Never gonna happen, okay? So you got to get rid of the cheese. You got to get rid of the milk. You got to get rid of meat. I hate to say it to you, but you got to get rid of the meat. If you want to do this, you're going to have to go vegan. Yep. I hate to tell you guys, you don't have to do, listen, you don't have to go vegan for the rest of your life, but if you want to fix this, you're going to have to go vegan until you get rid of this stuff from your system, okay? So no meat. Sorry. No meat, no milk, no cheese, and I hate to break this to you, no bread. No processed food, no bread. Bread is filled with yeast. So you don't want to eat bread, okay? No bread, no processed food. And, not you, hon. Here's what you really don't want to hear, but I'm going to have to disappoint you guys. No sugar. Sugar feeds fungus. Yeah. Sugar feeds fungus. Sugar will feed your yeast infection. So, no sugar. No sugar whatsoever. No candy. No, so when you eat a lot of fruits, unfortunately, you're going to have to cut out the fruit if you're trying to fix a yeast infection. You're going to have to cut out the fruits because fruits have a lot of natural sugar and that feeds the fungus. Sadly, I hate to say it. Another thing is antibiotic will give you a yeast infection. I'm sure a lot of you female already know that antibiotic gives yeast infection. Happens to me quite a few times. Okay, I had years ago I had some issues with my mouth. I had some abscess in my tooth, and yeah, I was given the antibiotic a couple of times, and every single time I got the yeast infection. Antibiotic does give you a yeast infection, sadly. So if you're on antibiotic for whatever reason, you need to get off of it. If you find yourself with yeast infection, they will give you, and sometimes you don't even feel the symptom of a yeast infection right away. That stuff can be sitting in your gut and happening inside of your gut, and you don't even know you have a yeast infection. All right. So brothers, if you get the dandruff, the itchy, scaly dandruff, itchy scalp, this video is for you. So as Master Herbalist Patrick Delve always tell me and always tell his patient, stay away from the white stuff. Anything white, stay away from it. Flour, white sugar, bread, any processed food that is white, it's all processed. Stay away from it if you're trying to fix yeast infection, okay? Stay away from it. These things will feed the fungus in your body. I cannot stress this enough. Okay, so I think there might have been 2 herbs that I missed that I didn't tell you guys. There is an herb called Oregon grape root. Oregan GRAPEROOT. Oregon grape root. I did forget to mention that herb. You have to incorporate that into this mixture of herb that I just gave you guys. And there is another herb called ELACAMPANE, elecampane. Okay, so all those herbs combine. All the herbs that I showed you earlier, all of them combine. Okay, after you have done your cleanse, you have to start taking these herbs, 1 cup 3 times a day. Okay, 1 cup in the morning. If you have to go to work, you make yourself a pot, take it with you to work, drink it 3 times a day. All right. Be very careful. 1 part of the golden seal, because golden seal is very, very potent. As I said, if you're going to get it in the liquid form, this is the liquid form here. Just a drop, okay? Just like maybe a quarter of this, you know, the droplet here. Just a quarter of it, 3 times a day. All right? So there you have it. Listen. Enough with the doctors and their foolishness, all right? Because clearly they're not telling y'all what the problem is with these issues. You know, telling people that a yeast infection is because you're on. Listen, I appreciate the advice on, you know, keeping a good hygiene and everything. The doctors are telling you, you know, make sure your underwears are clean and make sure, you know, I get that. I appreciate that. But they're not telling you the truth. I don't know. Is it that they don't know the truth? They don't know, or they're just not telling you what the problem is? Because how can a yeast infection start because your panties are dirty? Like, that doesn't even make sense. But anyway, hey, comment. Let me know if you guys, you know, take these herbs, and if you do have dandruff or yeast infection or whatever it is, let me know if these herbs work for you. But you got to cut out those junk food. You got to cut out you got to fix that digestive system. You got to fix the colon. You got to flush out the colon and keep it clean. You got to fix the immune system. That's the only way you're going to get rid of yeast infection. That's it. All right? And check up on your young daughters, because they're having yeast infection too. What's going on? Because the diet, the kids are not having a good diet. They're not being fed healthy diet. So now you have babies that are being diagnosed with yeast infection. So guys, pay attention to your children, please. If you have a son with a lot of dandruff, he's suffering from Candida. If you have a young daughter, a young child that has a yeast infection or dandruff issue, they have a lot of built up fungus in the body. And also your husband. So yeah, take care of that. All right? Shalom.